Have you ever thought about picking up a new hobby this spring and summer? And do you like being outside and do you like plants? Well, gardening may just be your newest hobby. Gardening can be a fun experience for anyone, regardless of age, location, and experience. And today I'm going to demonstrate how to maintain your perfect garden, which consists of watering, mulching, weeding, keeping harmful pests out, and fertilizing. We are going to start with watering. The amount of watering will depend on the amount of watering will depend on time of year, type of plant, and type of soil, and etc. And it is recommended that you water infrequently but consistently. As Miller states in her article, watering too frequently can make the plant's roots too shallow, not making it harder for it to withstand a drought. And when you water infrequently, it allows the plants to fully soak up the water, which allows for the roots to grow deeper. And it is recommended that you water in the morning. Which leads us into our next step, which is mulching. Mulch is a material that can be used to layer on top of the soil, and its purpose is to maintain moisture in the soil and also to regulate the temperature. And it also can help with keeping weeds out. And there are two different types of mulch, organic and inorganic. Inorganic mulch can be made up of materials such as plastic film or geotextile, and that does not decay back into the soil, and it does not help with soil development. And organic mulch is made up of natural materials such as compost, could be like compost, leaves, and etc. And that decays back into the soil, which assists it with the soil. And when mulching, it is important to layer it 2 to 3 inches deep, no more than 4 inches deep, and to keep it 2 to 3 inches away from the stems or trunks. Which now leads us into our next step, which is weeding. Weeds are excess plants that grow around your main plants, and they are harmful because they compete with the main plants for resources such as sunlight, water, and nutrients. And there are two different ways you can remove your weeds. You can remove them by hand, or you can to know while you're removing them by hand, make sure you grab a strong grip on the weed to ensure that the root comes out, or you can dig it out with a tool. And now this leads us into our next step, which is getting rid of those harmful pests. Pests can harm the garden by chewing on different parts of the plant, such as leaves, stems, or roots. Examples of harmful pests include Japanese beetles, aphids, cucumber beetles, tomato hornworms, and etc. And different ways you can remove these harmful pests are through different types of sprays, such as organic spray and neem oil spray, or you can use beneficial insects such as ladybugs. And when I used to grow a garden, we bought ladybugs to put into the garden so they could eat the pests. And other preventative measures for these pests, to get rid of pests, are to monitor your garden at least once a week and to make sure your plants are healthy, because pests like to attack unhealthy plants. And now this leads us to our final step, which is fertilizing. Fertilizing assists with the plant's growth and health because they feed it with nutrients, so that's how it's able to assist it with the growth and the health of the plants. And there are two different types of fertilizers: organic fertilizers, and an example of that could be compost or manure. And the other type of fertilizer is synthetic fertilizers, and some examples of that are potassium and nitrogen. And that helps, and that acts quicker than the natural fertilizer or the natural or organic fertilizer. And there are different types of application techniques, which are broadcasting, which is seen here, which is when you evenly distribute the fertilizer. And then there's side dressing, which is when you place the fertilizer directly next to the plant. And then there's foliar feeding, which is when you put the fertilizer right on the leaves of the plant. And then there's fertigation, which is when you use the fertilizer, which is when you put the fertilizer on via irrigation systems. I'm going to edit this part out. So. Well, not done. In this speech, I demonstrated how to maintain your perfect garden, which consists of watering, mulching, weeding, keeping harmful pests out, and fertilizing. And now that I've demonstrated how to maintain your perfect garden, you can now go on and maintain your own gardens. Go ahead and get in touch with nature by growing your own garden.
Good job.
Okay.